Om Namo Narayana. Welcome back. Today we are reading the Nrsimha Uttara Tapaniya Upanishad, or the first half of it anyways. I've not read this before. I have no idea what I'm about to venture into. So would you please join me in this two-part video series? Devas approached Lord Brahma and requested him, "Please teach us about the soul, which is more minute than the atom, and also about the letter Om." He said, "So be it." And this is what he said. All this is the letter Om. What is past, what is present, and what will be in future are its interpretations. All these are Om. All these are Brahman. This soul also is Brahman. Joining this soul with the Brahman called Om, and joining together the Brahman and the soul, and realizing that the birthless, deathless, nectar-drenched, and fearless Brahma is nothing but the Om, and then putting together the three types of bodies, and all these into it, and then making it our own, so as to become one with that, and then destroy it. Continue to meditate that Om, which is the soul, with the three types of bodies, and also the Para Brahma with three types of bodies. This soul, which is gross and enjoys mega pleasures, which is also very minute and enjoys even the minutest pleasures, and which becomes unified and enjoys the pleasures of happiness, has four branches. When it is awake, its feelings are gross. It enjoys gross feelings with its 7 organs and 19 faces, that being the 10 sense organs, 5 pranas, mind, brain, sensibility, and ego. Its name is Chatur Arthama Vishwan and Vaishvaran. This is its first branch. In the state of dream, its feelings are very minute. It will enjoy this minute sense with its 7 organs and 19 faces. Its name is Chatrathama Tai Chasan, and also Hiranya Gabran. This is its second branch. When there is no desire, and also where there are no dreams, the state is called Shuthputi. In that state, one is single, personification of knowledge, having an endless form, one who enjoys happiness and steadfastly concentrates only on knowledge. His name is Kshatrathma Pragnan, the knower. This is the third branch. He alone is Lord of all beings, one who knows everything, who resides in everything, who is the root cause of everything, and one where all beings which were born meet their end. These three, involving Shuthputi and Swapna, are only illusions. Soul is the only form which is real. The fourth branch of this fourfold soul is Thuriya. It is something which makes all others act, something which is within everything, and it is the active essence beyond the wakening, sleep, and dream. Something about it as follows. It is without macro consciousness. It is without micro consciousness. It is without medium consciousness. It is the personification of consciousness. It is not something immobile, and it is not immobile consciousness. It cannot be seen, cannot be described, it cannot be understood. It is something without any identification. It is something which is unimaginable. It is something which cannot be pointed out. It is something which can be perceived only with the firm belief that there is only one soul. It is that aspect of Panchabhutas, the 5 elements of air, earth, water, fire, and ether, where the entire universe is crashed in. It is considered as the 4th state after Shiva, peace, Santa, inner peace without negative any activity, and Advaita, non-dualism. It is the soul. It is that thing which has to be understood. It is that aspect of God which is the knowledge beyond all knowledge, and is called Turiya. The 4 branches of Brahman, which is shining well, is full of same essence of happiness, is never aging, is never dying, is full of nectar, and which is providing protection, should be matched with the 4 letters of Om. The one who knows that the Chaturatma Vishwan and Vaishvaran, who are awake and have similarity to the 4-formed Akara, the letter A, are spread inside everything in the form of micro, macro, root, and witness, and are the first of everything, would realize all his wishes. He would be the first among everyone. The Chaturatma Taijasan and Hiranya Garbhan, who exist in the state of dreams, are similar to the 4-letter U. This U has the form of gross, micro, root, and witness. Because of its greatness and because of its double relation, the one who knows this through gross, micro, root, and witness aspects would increase the tide of knowledge. He would possess equanimity along with pleasure and pain. The Chaturama Pragnan and Iswaran, who are in the state of sleep, are similar to the 4-form letter M. The letter M also has the forms of gross, micro, root, and witness. The one who knows this in its aspect of its measurability and its capacity to hide in itself by micro, macro, root, and witness properties would be able to measure the entire world by his wisdom and would be able to hide everything within himself. Like this, we have to pray on the stages of wakefulness, sleep, and dream by the letters of Om. The 4th letter is the one which has within itself the Isvara. It is that which can rule by itself. It is itself Isvara, and it has a self-glitter. This soul, which is the 4th, exists as known and unknown among the beings. Its light is like the Kaligni Surya, that being the sun who is like fire causing death at the time of the final deluge. It gives to all itself a soul, and would make everything into itself. Like the sun which swallows darkness, this soul, which is the unified power, exists like fire, which remains detached after burning the fuel, beyond word and mind, and has a holy divine form, and that is Turiya. This is the Om. It is within everything which has a name and form, and is the knowledge and knower, because it exists as Turiya, and has a divine form, and is within everything as knowledge and the knower, and is detached and formless. There are no differences within it. And so the teaching regarding this is as follows. Because it is without syllable, it is peace. It is Shiva. It is the place where the universe meets the end. It is indescribable. It has a non-dualistic form, and it is placed in the 4th position, and it is Om itself. The soul who understands this in this manner would attain the soul himself. This valorous hero would understand Turiya using Nar Simha Anushtup Mantra Raja. This would make the soul shine. He should deeply meditate on Brahman as something which would destroy everything, which cannot be conquered by any one, which is everywhere, shines forever, devoid of ignorance, able to be cut off its own bondage, non-dual, personification of happiness, basis for everything, exists forever, and which is one without ignorance, passion, and base qualities. Meditate deeply on Om in the form of the fire within, which is Agni Mandala, of the Muladhara in the Maha Pita, consisting of 4, 7, and 32 petal lotus, with its family of 4 worlds of earth, atmosphere, heavens, and moon, and the 7 souls. Then meditate on the letter A, which is the 4 souls of Kshatratma, and the Saptatma, the 7 souls, as in the middle of the eyelids, on the dot, which is the happy nectar form the soul of the sound of Om just above the eyes, and the soul in the form of the sound of Shodasta. Thus, after worshipping with nectar the fourfold Brahmas, the Devata teacher, mantra, and the soul, plus Vishnu and Rudra separately and then together in the form of Linga, with offerings, and then unifying the Linga forms in the Atma Jyoti, the light of the soul, and filling up the macro, micro, and causal bodies with this light, we have to unify Atma Jyoti, which is their basis, with micro, macro, root, and witness properties. Afterwards, adjust the very gross Virat form in the very micro Hiranyagarbha form, and this micro form in the great causal Isvara form, and after arranging the mantras similarly and meditating on Otta, Yangju, Janara, Anugna, Avikalpa stages, and merging all this into the sound of Om in Thurya, we have to reach the Nirvikalpi Paramatma, the formless great truth. Thus, the soul should be meditated upon 9 times as the Omkara form of Para Brahman, with Thurya Pranama sound, using Antushtup mantra as the ever happy full Atma, starting with the chants Om Ogram, Sakshadananda, Purna, Pratyag, Sata, Manam, Nirsim, Ham, Pramatha, Manam, Praman, Brahma, Chintayami, and ending with Om Mrutyam Mrutyam. Then the same prayer 9 times with the Kshiratha Manam instead of the Sadatam Namam. Then the same prayer 9 times with Anandata Manam instead of Sadath Manam. Then the same prayer 9 times with Purnath Manam instead of Sadath Manam. And again the same prayer with Pratyagath Manam instead of Sadath Manam. Meditating well in the 5 forms of Sat, Chit, Ananda, Purna, and Atma, and pray with the Navatmaka mantras, and then meditate on the soul using the self. Then salute, and then unite yourself with Brahma. The other alternative is to pray to Lord Narasimha using the Anushtup mantra. Narasimha, who is God, exists as a human being, and also as soul of everyone, for all times and everywhere, and also as one who destroys attachments, and also as God of the universe. He is the soul of Thurya. Believing he is yourself, the one who practices yoga should meditate on the Omkara, Brahma. He is the great sage who serves God, who establishes the lion with its fame, after mutually attracting Viswa, Taichasa, and Pragna, who are like the sons of Atma, with Pranava, which has been pointed out as the bull of the Vedas. After making them without separate identity and finishing them in Sakshi Chaitanya, and afterwards kill the darkness of ignorance using the fame of the lion. That devotee who, after saluting Virat, Hiranyagarbha, and Isvara, who have been joined in the horns of Pranava and uniting them in the same Paramatma principle, and then saluting Narasimha as described above, and make him personally present by methods like Ugra and Vira, would exist in the form similar to Narasimha. And we are going to stop here. And first, apologies as always for butchering Sanskrit. I am lousy at pronunciation, and my book doesn't really necessarily give me what I think is the correct pronunciation, so I don't always know if the letters are what they're supposed to be. This was very complicated. My thought, and this is horrible to say, but my thought was like this was reading like a sociology paper in some journal. It's just like, okay, get to the point. But there's a point. Actually, the other thought was this was like when I was young, I read a lot of Aleister Crowley, and some of his magic spells are just like, I don't get it. But there is a point here, and there is something, and this, I won't say this was like a magical spell, but this is telling you instructions, and getting really heavy into concepts and things, and it doesn't help that there's Sanskrit mixed with the English, and some of the English isn't really well translated to be clear. These sentences that go on and on are hard to understand and hard to read. But there's a point, and it's very, very, I'm going to oversimplify it, but it basically, Om is 4 letters. A, O, M, and Om itself. And each one of those letters has meaning, profound meaning. And together, they are, God, for lack of a better, maybe this self-revealing truth. That's what I got out of this. And I was reading this at first going, Om has 4 letters. I'm like, no, that's 3. I'm not sure. And then, the word itself. That was very revealing. And I would, tell you to go back and look at this again. But I had never really thought of it like that each letter has its own power, and together they form another power. And I was just like, wow. Very profound. So, it's not much. There was a lot here, and I just super summarized it. And my apologies to the author, whoever the author is. But definitely Upanishads like this, I know why people don't read these, because this is not an easy read. Not an easy read at all. Anyways, we'll finish it up in the next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thoughts, comments, all that stuff down below. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare